In today's episode with Preston Martin, the co-founder of BTI, we're going to dive into the history of BTI, one of the largest bicycle distributors in the country. We're going to talk about tariffs, what that means to consumers, bike shops, as well as some predictions in the future of the bike space. Talk a little bit about some punk rock music, of course, where he'd like to spend the rest of his life. And we'd like to thank Feedback Sports for helping make this podcast possible. Check the link down below for a discount code if you're looking for shop tools, work stands, or tools for on the go. Let's get into it. All right, folks, so we've got a special and rare opportunity. The man who says he does not grant very many interviews. Preston, you're the co-founder of BTI, which for those who may not know, what's BTI?
BTI is a distributor that's been around since 1993. We started out as a suspension service center, and now we have virtually everything a bike shop could need: parts, accessories, tools.
And how big is BTI?
About 100 people in total. That's spread across the country with warehouses in Santa Fe and Sparks, Nevada.
Okay. Roughly how many shops do you service?
There's about 5,000 shops in the U.S., and most of them have an account with BTI. All sizes of shop, but our favorites are the smaller shops out there that heavily focused on service, because we tend to stock the widest selection of service parts, especially for suspension.
Okay. And you said that was kind of how you started, right?
Right.
Servicing suspension and working on, I guess, fork and shock rebuilds.
That's right.
Okay.
And so it started in my garage in Ashland, Oregon when I was 23.
Wow.
And we went and got training with all the suspension brands that were around back in those days, which wasn't very many.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we still do the service today.
Okay. And touching briefly, I guess, on your roots and beginnings, we talked earlier a little bit. You're into the punk rock scene and grew up in the Portland area. Talk about that a little bit. You played some bands and music and stuff?
Yeah. Back then I was more of a skater.
Okay.
And played in a bunch of bands in Portland, and ultimately when I moved to Ashland, Oregon had this mountain bike scene going on that was new to me. So I said, all right, cool. And so we ended up building a trail there called the BTI Trail.
Okay.
So yeah, if you ever ride that was me and Andrew, the founders of BTI, built that.
Really?
Way back.
And at the time you said that was a pirate trail. Well, or unsanctioned build.
It might have been.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All the permits weren't finalized. That's cool, man. And so how long after you started mountain biking then when you moved to Ashland?
That's right.
Okay.
So,
and how long after it you started riding did the BTI trail start getting built?
that was within years.
Okay.
There was a trail network there, and the reason we built the trail was because they were developing housing on the low end of the mountain.
Yeah.
And they built houses right on our trail, where Toothpick emptied out. And so we said, well, we need a new way to get back to town. And so we solved the problem.
There it is. I know I've ridden the trail many times. And I knew that you guys were in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I was like, I wonder why there's a trail called BTI here in Ashland, Oregon. And now I know why.
Right, because that's where I went to college.
Okay. And what does BTI stand for?
Bicycle Technologies International.
Okay. Worldwide.
It is. We're an importer. We bring in products from all over the world.
Okay. And at what point in, I guess, BTI did you, relocate from Ashland and kind of change your business model from just tuning suspension to being a distributor?
I mean, that's been a gradual evolution since day one.
Okay.
Our first catalog, had the suspension parts in it, but it also had Paul brakes, for instance, and other curiosities that were kind of cool niche products back in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
and pretty heavy mountain bike focus.
Okay.
So over the years, we've gradually become more kind of all inclusive with more road, mountain, BMX, whatever we can do to support a bike shop is, that's what we want to do, is be the one-stop shopping someday for all bike shops.
Right on. Yeah. So I'd like to, move into maybe some differences and parallels of the bike industry from the 90s to where we're at today. I know that's a topic that I have talked to a lot of other journalists and people that work at bike brands about, just in the current struggles of the bike industry. And I've thought about, like, man, maybe there's just too many brands and too many options for not enough riders. Because it's so easy to think about, like, just right now, quickly referencing so many different brands and bike brands. But I feel like in the 90s, the brands aren't here now. So I kind of forgot how many brands there actually were in the 90s, right? Like, that are gone now. So you might have a better memory than I, since you were importing and exporting, shipping those. Were there more brands in the 90s, or are there more brands today?
I'd say there was a similar amount of brands,
Okay.
But there's been a high amount of turnover over the years. Mm-hmm. A lot of brands that we remember, like the first dropper post was completely off the wall looking. It was called a power post. It was a parallelogram design, and it would swing all the way forward towards your stem or all the way back towards your tire. It worked fantastic, and people made fun of me for riding it.
Yeah.
Back then. But it was a game changer for me, and I seeing it on every bike, mountain bike now.
The dropper post, right?
Yeah.
It's like you got to have them now. So,
right.
What, when I think back to that era of 90s brands that were not here, like, I think of AC Components, like they were from my hometown in, Thousand Oaks. And, Rocket Power Parts, the Scary Fast stuff, and
TWP.
There was a Kuka, and there's Cook Brothers or Bullet Brothers. What was the brothers?
Cook Brothers.
Cook Brothers.
And there was Bullet Brothers also.
Yeah, and like they had like the derailleur chain tensioning device thing.
Yeah. We carried all those things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in like the brake boosters that AC made and a few other brands, but like, man, there was just so many brands that aren't here today, right? And a brand like Race Face, right, for example, of what we're here for to see now, has survived.
That's right. It's remarkable that Race Face has come so far, and it's so innovative as it is.
Yeah.
Within its category, it's definitely withstood this test of time better than many.
So do you think that, why do you think that those brands faded away in the 90s? The ACs, the Cook Brothers, Kukas, etc.
I think that it's hard to hit a critical mass when you're a specialty product like that. Mm-hmm. And so, a lot of times they might go too big too fast, mm-hmm. And ultimately run into financial difficulties. But that's just a world of reasons they came and went.
And why do you think brands today might be struggling and go out of business? More financial factors today, you think?
Yeah, honestly, margins are difficult for a new brand to show up these days. You've got to be able to make products at a very competitive price, and so to do that, you might have to look at moving your production overseas. And this is one of the factors we see, is that most of our products, most bicycle components, are made overseas, mm-hmm. and that's done for a reason, because the economies of cheaper labor unit input can't be ignored.
Right.
And
I guess if you take that to the next step, right, then it's got to be imported, which means tariffs, right? In the current time frame of this conversation, tariffs are an ever-changing thing, right? What can you talk to us about what tariffs have done for you as a business, and what you have heard from brands and bike shops that are dealing with it?
Right. Tariffs are nothing new. We've had tariffs on products we import since we began. And and they range anywhere from 0 to 5%, depending on the commodity, 0 to 10. So they average about 5% historically. And currently, with the most recent changes in February of 2026, we now have an extra 10% on everything across the board. So, yeah, that means that generally speaking, that new increase in our costs has to be passed on. It gets passed along to the bike shop, and the bike shop will pass it along to the consumer in the form of a price increase.
And that's, I mean, what are you hearing from brands, I guess, and then we'll say what you're hearing from shops secondary.
Brands have many, many ways to address a problem like this. They can land the products themselves using their own cost structures to keep the tariffs down as much as they can. Ultimately, giving the consumer the best MSRP they can. Right now, and it's changing so often that nobody's really comfortable that this is going to be a long-term problem.
Do you think that uncertainty in knowing if it's going to be permanently like this or not would affect brands potentially reinvesting in finding a way to have the stuff made in North America again? Like, is it kind of like, we can just deal with this for a couple more years and then we'll get back? Or if they're like, this is like, if someone just stamped it and said, this is set in stone evermore, do you think people would bring manufacturing back? Or would we just be now dealing with this new price point?
Well, I think, with labor costs being dramatically higher in the U.S., these manufacturers are looking outside for obvious reasons. The bike industry is lobbying the U.S. federal government to basically make it possible for us to do more assembly in the U.S. Assembly is reasonable for us as a first step to move in that direction of bringing manufacturing home. To do so, though, we need to reduce the tariffs on the products that do get that extra set of touches in the U.S., that assembly work that goes
that would incentivize the assembly process.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Is that something that you would be in favor of?
Certainly. It would mean you'd end up with, say, a lot more frames and parts kits coming to the U.S. for a bike to be assembled here.
Yeah.
And then...
Then you've got a skilled or semi-skilled labor force that are employed and putting stuff together locally, get more jobs and whatnot, and hopefully keep pricing relatively competitive.
Correct. It's not unlike what a company like Toyota is doing in the U.S.
Okay. And what are you hearing from bike shops? Because I imagine the shop owners are passing on their impressions, and they're also probably passing on customer feedback too, right?
The dealers in general are... they are adapting with each new invoice that they get to do a repair in their shop. They just simply have to pivot on a daily.
Yeah, well, whatever the packing slip says is that's what that affects their price for that period.
Simple as that.
That's wild.
So fortunately, we're not using paper catalogs anymore. Everything's done online now.
Live updates.
So everything's live. Our pricing can change from one day to the next, and the dealers adapt.
Is that an automated process, or is that, that's got to be a lot of time and labor intensive.
It's a manual process. So
for your whole catalog.
Yeah.
How many SKUs or parts do you have? Thousands, tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands. And
oh man.
And so you can imagine the whole catalog having to be repriced every time
stuff gets landed.
A new sweeping tariff change happens. So,
boy, that's whoever's doing that job. A high five, digital high five. That'd be a rough one.
there are a dozen buyers at BTI that are doing that job.
Oh my goodness.
It's thankless.
Yeah.
And no fun.
They probably need
They'd rather be riding bikes.
Yeah. They give them like a D30 pad so they can just smash their foreheads on their desks. That's wild, man. Well, So aside from tariffs, bike industry future, what do you predict in your crystal ball? You've been around a while doing this.
Well, right. So e-bikes are
Okay.
happening
Yes.
on pavement, off pavement. They're happening everywhere. And from as a parts distributor, we're really interested to see when that translates into sale of e-bike related parts and accessories, and it hasn't really taken off yet. There's specific brake pads and chains and whatnot
Okay.
for e-bike, and so that's a new frontier. Also doing service on the shocks and on the motors and batteries.
Is that something you guys are currently doing or
Something
exploring?
we're exploring, yes.
Because it seems like in the UK there are service centers, and some of them are just private guys, or they establish a shop, and they're like motor specialists.
Correct, and so we have invested in tooling. We're still taking a wait and see attitude because in the U.S. There's so many differing rules depending on each municipality, especially concerning batteries.
Okay.
They've had fire problems around the country, especially New York City, and so it's not a one size fits all market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're we'll wait and see on that.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah. I mean, from a business standpoint, I could see being, especially with your connection to bike shops already and as a trusted source, I feel like that would be, to the consumer, right? When someone comes into a shop, they could say like, well, we could submit a warranty claim. We could try and see what, Shimano or Bosch or whoever will say. Alternatively, or if they're outside of warranty period, we could send this to BTI. It's going to be X number of dollars for a rebuild, or you've got a refurbishment program. I could see that being a pretty decent revenue generator and business addition to you guys.
True.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we continue adding brands.
Yeah.
Particularly in the accessories category.
Yeah.
And so it's just the desire to continue to build the catalog to have everything a shop can desire.
What accessory category is the most popular? What do shops order the most?
Sealant.
Okay. And what sealant is the number one selling sealant?
It's a tie.
Okay. What are they?
Orange sealant stands.
Oh yeah, those are the two.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. How about chain lubes? What's the most popular there? Do you know?
Chain lubes. That one has a lot more.
There's a lot of options there.
A lot of options. I can't say who the top runner is right now.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's I mean, sealant, that makes sense, right? I mean, because especially for shops, they're probably, if they're replacing tires, like, I mean, they're selling them to customers, but they're also probably using a lot themselves as well.
Absolutely.
So
yeah. The other big item is shock pumps.
Oh yeah.
Shock. Yeah.
You're always going through shock pumps.
Right. You've got, every bike comes with a shock on it. Most mountain bikes anyway. And so you need a pump.
That's it. What's your favorite shock pump?
I've been using the Fox pump.
Yeah, the digital one.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's great.
I do like those a lot. So let's see here. What else? What's the favorite place that you've ever been to ride a bike?
Wow. That's a good question. I think I continue to go back to ride at Mountain Bike Oregon Festival.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's so well done.
Okay.
And you get a bike expo. You've got great trails that are accessible by shuttle, or you can ride up if you want. Mm-hmm. You've got a big party afterward with live music and local breweries, and just a great atmosphere of friends being together.
Yeah. Mountain Bike Oregon is a very fun event for sure, and I know that there's a lot of people that thoroughly enjoy it. So you brought music up again. Top 3 favorite punk bands.
Boy, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Therapy ?
Okay. Haven't heard of them.
Yeah, that's a good one. They're based out of Ireland.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
What do they sound like? What kind?
they're a bit more rock.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have tickets to go see Social Distortion
All right.
this in a few months here, so
Okay.
that'll be fun. And gosh, I think the Distillers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. And if you could see any band, alive or dead, who would it be?
Man. I never got to see Lemmy.
No. You would take earplugs or no?
Yeah,
You raw dog it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Earplugs.
I would wear earplugs. I'm already wearing hearing aids right now, so from too many shows without earplugs. So kids, wear your earplugs.
Yeah. When you get old, you'll be deaf.
Don't do it. It's a bad idea.
Dude, yeah. Motorhead would be a good one, man. I would have. Yeah, I remember seeing Lemmy in Hollywood. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in LA and was always down there going to shows and stuff. And I remember seeing him outside the. It was either outside the Whiskey or the Viper. I can't remember. It was right outside the Whiskey because the Key Club was right next door. And I remember he just came out of a bar and we were just standing outside after a show. And I was like, oh my God, there's Lemmy, And he was just there as badass as ever. And I was like, that's pretty sweet. That guy was the man. Last question that I usually like to ask everybody. Mm-hmm. You're going to be banished somewhere for the rest of your life. Where is it and what bike are you taking with you?
Well, I'd probably go to
It's a tough one.
It is.
I know. Because I don't even know the answer myself, and I've asked like at least 15 different people.
I would go to New Zealand.
Okay.
And I would take my Ibis Ripmo.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been riding a lot of different bikes lately, and the Ripmo is the most fun.
Okay.
It climbs well. It's really a joy to descend on. It's super poppy, likes to manual, likes to jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Have you been in New Zealand before?
Yes.
Okay, so you like it?
Yeah, the riding there, it's all kinds of, you'll be riding by the beach one day and then up in high alpine, and yeah, it's epic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And through the tropical forest. And
dang. Yeah, one of these days it's got to happen sooner than later, especially because I keep hearing people put it on this list that they're on too, right? But man, I've been wanting to go for a long time. That place looks really sweet.
Yeah,
so.
the flight's a little long, but it's worth it.
Yeah, you just got to stay for at least 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right on. Well, thank you, Preston. I appreciate the time. Congrats on building an awesome business, and good luck into the future.
Yeah, thank you for the time.
All right. Well, folks, there you have it. Preston, co-founder of BTI. If you have any questions for Preston, things you'd like us to ask future guests, please let us know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the trails.